What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
First of all, I would like to say congratulations to Victor Wembanyama for breaching 50 points for the first time in his career. Not only did Wemby breach 50 points, but he is the fastest player to reach 50 points in terms of minutes played. He breached the 50-point mark in only 26 minutes, which is phenomenal. But I would expect that for a player at his size. But I wouldn't expect him to do it the way he did it unless he was on from three-point land, which he was. Victor Wembanyama had 50 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, on 18 for 29 from the field, 8 for 16 from three-point land. Now that we got that out of the way, here are my more in-depth thoughts on Wemby's performance. First of all, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm critical of Wemby. I love the guy. I want him to succeed. But I can't stand his offensive game. I know, in my opinion, he's the best defensive player in the NBA. And as being part of a complete player, you should play both ends of the floor. So I do take that into consideration. But I will nitpick and critique his offensive game appropriately. All season long, I have been complaining, even last season, that this man takes far too many three-point shots and is constantly letting defenses off the hook by not getting closer to the basket, inside the paint, developing a post game, working on a post game, moving without the basketball, getting to his spots without the basketball, closer to the basket, then getting it dumped in and going quick into his move. These are all things that Victor Wembanyama is lacking in his game. And if he can work on these things, improve on these things, incorporate these things, he will truly, truly be an unstoppable force. And strategically using his three-point shot to his advantage, either to get easier shots in the paint or getting clean, nice looks from three-point land as he improves his three-point shooting. There are too many games, especially this season, where about half, plus or minus, give or take a little, whatever, about half of his shot attempts are from three-point land. And he hasn't been shooting well. He's been bricking a lot and letting defenses off the hook. He's only shooting 34% this season from three, and on his career, 32%. He's letting defenses off the hook. And even with that being said, his field goal percentage this season is 47%. Now, for a wing player, a shooting guard, 6'6", whatever, that's good. That's fine. But for somebody that's 7'5", 47% in this NBA at his size tells me that he's shooting too many jumpers and not getting close enough to the basket. I understand he can get a little bit stronger, but even with that being said, at his size and his mobility, I know he can get better looks and finish at the basket better. That tells me that there's too many damn fadeaway jump shots. For his size, don't get me wrong, if you're clicking, okay. But you shouldn't start the game with that kind of mindset. Work closer to the basket and work your way out if need be. I was watching the highlights of Victor's game on YouTube, and I was going through the comment sections to see what people had to say. And of course, people saying things like, "Oh my God, look at him now. Now he's the last 3 games. He has been hitting like the last 3 games he's been on point from three-point land. His three-point shot is starting to fall." Granted, eventually, yeah, you're going to start hitting some shots. You know, you spend your first 3 weeks of the season, 4 weeks of the season, missing most of them. Eventually, you're going to have some games, you're going to get into a rhythm, and they'll start falling. But he's not a shooter. He's not a sniper, so I don't expect this to be the norm. I expect him to go back down to his averages at some point. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's a sign of improvement. But I've seen it happen far too often that, yeah, some people get hot, some people get in stride. But I don't expect him to be shooting 40, 50% from three-point land on the season. I don't even expect him to shoot 38% from three. Got people out here saying, oh, look at him now. I was like, yeah, eventually. Some of them are going to go down. And he's going to have a game where he's hot. Eventually. And he might have a little small, stint there where he goes on a run, which he seems to be on now. But trust me, he'll go back to being the Victor Wembanyama from three that we've seen. I do not think this is sustainable for a season by any stretch of the imagination. People calling this guy a 7-foot sniper, a 7-foot pure jump shooter. I'm like, what are y'all smoking? There is nothing about Victor Wembanyama that tells you that he's a sniper or a pure jump shooter. People are comparing him to Kevin Durant. I was like, don't ever disrespect Kevin Durant like that. Kevin Durant is a real easy money sniper, shooter. Steph Curry, sniper, shooter. Victor Wembanyama, not that. Not that. At best, I think Wemby will probably end up being a streaky shooter that can score in many different ways. But we have to see him score consistently in many different ways. Has yet to be seen. Now, I couldn't believe the glaze I was hearing. Calling this guy a sniper, a shooter, a pure shooter. Look at him now. Oh, he's a three-point threat. I'm like, this man is not a three-point threat. Over the last 2-3 games, yes, he has been a three-point threat. But I will give him that three all day long. And I will feel happy about my chances with that. Trust me. I'd rather have him on the perimeter shooting threes at about 34% on a season. I'll take my chances. If he so happens to be hot, oh well. But I do not want him anywhere around the paint. And he doesn't want to be anywhere around the paint either. So it just makes my day as a defense so much easier. He did have some nice moves in that game. I saw him get to the paint beautifully. He was maybe top of the key, and he did a nice dribble move, face up, great footwork, spin, finish close to the basket. It was beautiful. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, Wemby. I want to see more of that. Get yourself close to the basket. You can do it in a variety of ways, and that's just one way you can do it. Take a look at it. I'll show you the play. Take a look at it.
Look at Sarr. Spins, steps through, and scores!
Here's Victor. Good footwork, cut that pivot foot.
That right there, that's good stuff. That's money. Beautiful. I see some more of that. No one's going to be able to stop that. See some more of that. And then some more back to the basket type stuff. Man, this man, he could, talk about unstoppable. Oh, what you going to do with that? I want to see it. I would love to see it. But like I said, he has to stop falling in love with the three. Now, granted, he seems to be on. He seems to be on fire. Okay. See how long you can keep this momentum up. But be smart about it. Be smart about it. And I also think this stretch of 2-3 games where he's been shooting good from three, it's fool's gold. I do believe that. It's fool's gold. And I kind of didn't want it to happen. Like, it's good that it's happening. I'm happy for him. But it's fool's gold, man. Because he might look at that and be like, oh yeah, look at me now. I got it figured out. It's going to keep chucking them up and keep chucking them up and keep chucking them up and keep chucking them up. Now that he has seen, a stretch of success. And I know a lot of people disagree with me. They're like, oh, it's a shooter's league. Let him shoot. I'm like, no. That doesn't mean he can't dominate in other areas of the game and make it easier for him and the team. Imagine all the more open shots he'll get his teammates on the perimeter by extending himself to the basket, away from the three-point line to the basket as well. You know how hard the defense is going to have to collapse on him? Crazy. The 50-point game was phenomenal, but we'll see. It was a pretty bad Wizards team with a horrible defense. I take that into consideration, but he did what he had to do to win the game. At the end of the day, he handled that. And he did an exceptional job at it. So I hope he has continued success. I wonder if Greg Popovich's absence has anything to do with this. Another thing I like about Wemby this season, which was a complaint I had about him last season, was that he wasn't aggressive enough. He wasn't aggressive enough, and there was multiple components to that. Him not being aggressive enough, him not demanding the ball as the best player on the team, Popovich not demanding it of his teammates to get him the ball, and his teammates not looking for him. But this season, that seems to have changed. He definitely seems like more of an aggressive player. CP3 helps now, getting him the ball, making sure people get him the ball, and the teammates are doing a better job at getting him the ball. So I definitely like that improvement. That was a gripe I had last season. So we'll see. I'll continue to cover Wemby. Y'all know me. You might get tired of me bringing up the same old points, but somebody got to show Victor this video. Show Wemby. If you know Wemby, show him my video. Wemby, I could be your coach. I got a post game, man. I mean, you're probably better off working with Hakeem or David Robinson or somebody like that, Tim Duncan on it. But I got a post game too. I won't charge as much. I won't charge as much. I know Hakeem charges. I don't know if Timmy seemed like the guy that he may not charge, especially since you're in the organization, same organization. But I won't charge Wemby. I could show you some post moves, man. Drop step, all that stuff. Left hand, right hand. That was my game. I generally played shooting guard and point guard, but I worked in the post a lot because I'm a Kobe guy and I modeled my game after Kobe. So low block, high post, I was constantly operating in that and getting closer to the basket, getting people off their feet, banging down low. I like the physicality. That's me, though. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Appreciate y'all for stepping in. Let me know what you think about it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.